Okay, this in regards to this lengthy style. Now, I just want to say first of all, I've not tested this scientifically. I need to go into a game, old gen, new gen, side by side, time trials, same stadium. But like players like Walker with lengthy are the go-to because they have the acceleration and sprint speed. But it's only a few players like this. The general consensus is someone like Ronaldo. I wouldn't want the lengthy on him unless I'm going to abuse L1 triangles and trigger the player to run from my half. Like, I'll explain to you what I mean. So let's say I go into a game in tactics. I'm just going to go like here, for example. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek of my tactics. If Ronaldo is going to be triggered from here and is going to run like this and I'm going to do an L1 triangle, then it would make sense to have it on. But there is this thing people are saying is someone with 50 pace better than someone who's got 90 pace with controlled and that he's got lengthy? Now I would say no, because in most places in the pitch you need these short bursts to go defend, press players. Don't forget, you're going to switch, but you're not going to hold one player and run back the entire time. But that's why I think a CDM, one of them on lengthy, would make a difference. Now again, I would not go with a defender who's got like 50 pace. I would go with someone like Goretzka and put an anchor on him so he does get that lengthy, who's already pretty rapid as it is. That's the way that I look at it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I don't think, for example, like Ronaldo, I don't think statistically speaking I want to forgo the lack of the +8 on both of these, and then also the finishing boost, because you have to put an architect on this guy. You can't get away with putting something else in. So what I am gonna say is, although it's a very interesting feature, I think it's only for certain positions. I think realistic, if you're playing like two DMs, like, to be honest, someone like Valverde would be perfect. Have one of them on like that, and then you could run back with them your entire time, and you can get that boost when you're defending with your CDM. But apart from that, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I wouldn't go into a play and be like, oh, is that player... It's the same with why I started fullbacks in FIFA 20, because you're going to concede less goals with fullbacks, because headers, yes, they're weakened headers, but the meta's L1 triangles over the top. Now, I agree everyone else playing a higher line, but they won't be playing a higher line in the long term. So I think, realistically, the way I look at it is, maybe for centre-backs, I would want controlled. It depends how much of a high line on my play style is, but I'd probably say controlled most of the time, because I still need those short, but inside the box, I need those short bursts, especially against someone who's doing skill moves. But if there's an exception, someone like Walker, who's going to be playing centre back for me and normally sub this guy off, then that would be the exception. And then maybe, for example, I one of the strikers on lengthy. If, for example, I said you're going to trigger him from your own half and you're going to do an L1 triangle over the top. But that is only if the card is good as it is. So I just wanted to mention that. That's just something to take into account in regards to this lengthy and lengthy and controlled. So this architect chemistry style, you do forgo the shooting. And that's another thing. You have to weigh that up. So I would say for most of the time, I would still want a high-paced player over someone who's low pace but lengthy. If you then have a player like Walker, who in my opinion is still one of the best centre backs in the game, and he has lengthy, then it comes up to debate where are you going to forgo the risk inside the box, that player being slow, but because he's naturally got a bit better acceleration, sprint speed, and someone's got 50, you can recover it ever so slightly. So with the top tier players, I think that's where the debate really comes into play. But yeah, interesting. I need to do some further testing to give a full conclusive answer. I need to know at what length does, like, let's say this is the pitch, right? I need to, and this is the center circle. I need to know if you're running and it's the halfway line. If you're running, at what length, how many yards does it take before X player receives the lengthy speed boost, and how long for? I need to know all those variables before I can fully conclusively decide I'm going to be using just lengthy cards or lengthy on all the cards or whatever. So that's what I would say in regards to that. So I'll have to do some testing. If anyone has any video right now about actual testing. I know there's some videos, but realistically I need like a proper video, not one where like a defender is running back like this and he's getting kind of done on, like, when you're looking at these clips. I think I put a tweet out. I'll show you exactly what I mean. In fact, I put a tweet out, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Where is it? Let's put this over here. So I put this tweet out over here, scientific evidence, and then I put this one over here, what I said, and then like that, and then like that. And I think Josh Ryder, by the way, top streamer, make sure you go follow him on Twitch. He sent this clip, but just for the record, the reason why I'm not going to use this clip is because you can see the centre back is John Stones, and he almost catches up there, and that's John Stones. But realistically, if he just ran this way as opposed to running this way, he would have got the ball regardless, even when it's John Stones. That's why people say, oh, how can someone 50 pace outpace a 99 striker? It's all about angles. It's not going like this. You want to defend like this, you meet him up over there. So that's what I wanted to say. So it has to take into account a controlled, like this, a situation like this has to be like, okay, full stamina. There's got to be a controlled centre back. He's got to run this way, and a normal stance towards defending the angle, not like a mistake going like this. And then in a straight line, in theory, Kane shouldn't have the ball, so he gets more of a sprint boost, and that way you can then make the conclusion of whether lengthy is worth it. So yes, it does have its benefits in some situations, but I don't think for now, until I've fully got conclusive answers, that I'm going to be using lengthy all the time. I may for now just try one strike on lengthy and one CDM on lengthy, and I walk anyway. That's like a centre back that I have on lengthy by default because I play him in centre back, so naturally he gets that. And then I suppose I can make a decision from there once I've got the angles, the conclusive evidence, but more importantly the distances when it activates.